I always see people, they try to fix the external, but they never try to fix the internal. They do things externally to try and help themselves, to try and create an external image, but that never helps to fix the self-image, how they perceive themselves. Therefore, they always get stuck in a rut. They're always stuck believing they're still the old version of themselves. It's like upgrading a computer outside, upgrading the shell of your computer outside, but you're never upgrading the internal hardware. You're not updating the things inside of yourself, right? The computer's still going to run slow because it's the old version of itself and it just never gets upgraded, right? So your self-image, the image that you hold of yourself, who you believe yourself to be, and not who other people think you are, that is what the self-image is, right? But what you have to realize is, the caveat is, oftentimes our self-image, who we believe ourselves to be, is built upon who others think we are, right? Others think we're this, so we believe it. And that belief stems from usually when you're a child. It can be from when you're a teenager. And because of that, your whole life, you go by thinking, oh, this person thinks this of me. That means I must be that. You don't have any actual proper beliefs of yourself. Therefore, your beliefs are never actually proper. Actual beliefs are never created of yourself because you don't know who you are internally, right? People told you you're not this, you're that, you're not grammatical, you're artistic, you're not artistic, you're mathematical. Like, everyone has these ideas of who we are, but you have to understand that the only image that matters is the self-image, right? The image that we believe we are internally. So that change that we want, that change of ourselves that we want, it comes from a belief from within, right? He who says he can't and he who says he can, those people are both right because they both have that belief, right? The person that thinks they can do something is as right as the person that believes that they can't do something, because their belief system is both true for themselves, right? For that person. Okay, so you have to understand that people on the internet, people around you will tell you that you need to do affirmations. And I believe that doing affirmations and all these other things are bullshit, right? To a certain extent. But you have to understand that you can't trick your subconscious mind. That's why I personally believe that affirmation and things of that nature are bullshit, because it's not actually, you're not hardwiring it into your subconscious mind. And if you're not hardwiring it into your subconscious mind, then you're not actually changing yourself internally. You have to actually believe it for it to be. You have to actually believe it deep in your heart, deep in your soul, for it to actually change, right? So first, ask yourself, what do you want to become? And I know you've probably heard this a million times, but you have to hear me out. Right? What does the ideal version of yourself look like? Like, you have to literally imagine in your mind right now. Like, I'm not talking about material things because that will come through aligning yourself properly. But you have to understand, and you have to have a map of what you want to reach, the person that you want to become, the person that you want to be. And you have to have that image laid out in your mind, right? So what does the ideal version of yourself in 10 years look like? Are they fat? Are they lazy? Do they play video games all the time? Do they goon 12 times a day? And, are they socially awkward? These are probably not attributes that you want to have as a person. You don't want to be some lazy dude who just goons and beats his dick all the time. You don't want to be some lazy person that doesn't care and doesn't have any ambition and does not give a shit, right? So the ideal version of you is probably, confident. They're charismatic. They're good communicators. They're ripped. They work out in the gym daily. They're knowledgeable. They are constantly and consistently learning. They make good money through maybe having a business or something like that. They can fight. And the list goes on. there's probably a lot of things that you want to become, right? But how do you become? Because all that self-image it's your view of who you are. It's your view of how you are, not how other people view you. And the chances are, if you have low self-esteem and you're timid and you're nervous and you're shy and you're awkward, you have a bad self-image. You don't have a good self-image. So first, you must keep reminding yourself of what it is that you're becoming. And you have to understand and you have to keep picturing that daily. Now, the reason I said that affirmations are somewhat bullshit, but not all the way bullshit, is that in becoming, you have to also do the things that help you align with that action. You can't just sit there and be lazy and be like, I'm gonna be ripped. I'm gonna be ripped. But you're eating fucking McDonald's and 20 bags of Cheetos every single day. That's not how it works. You need to first have that belief in your mind that you already are that thing that you're becoming. You need to have the belief, all right, I am ripped. I will keep working in the gym every single day until that mental image in my mind to that physical version of myself aligns with the reality that I believe to be true in my mind. And that's how you align the external, the physical, with your reality, right? And you have to understand also that you have to be able to change the patterns of belief in your mind, take action, and these two are both in conjunction with one another. They come hand in hand. You can't have the physical without the mental. You can't have the mental without the physical. So your mental has to be in alignment for the physical to change. The physical has to be in alignment for the mental to keep growing, right? Because if you don't keep changing physically, you're not going to believe you're able and capable of doing more in your mind, right? So your mental and physical must change together. Otherwise, it's like having outdated drivers on your computer. Like I said before, it's like having a new shell on your computer as a new computer case, but you don't update anything internally, right? So you have to view yourself as the man that already is, the man that already has it. Otherwise, you will never be it. So, hypothetically, right? Let's say you want to get good at speaking to women, or you want to get good at speaking in general, to speaking to new people. You want to get out of that state of mind of being shy, of being timid, or being nervous, or being awkward. You're not going to be able to do that by speaking to one woman. You get rejected, you never speak to another chick for 2 years, then you go online in some sort of forum and you talk about how much you hate all women. That's not going to help you get good at talking to women. Right? Talking to people, communication, talking to women, talking to anyone, going to the gym, developing your body. Anything in life is a skill that can be developed, right? You might not be able to change certain aspects and attributes of yourself, but you need to focus on the things that you can change. Focus on the things that will be able to be changed, right? And one thing is your self-image, the way that you view yourself internally, right? So you must have the belief that it can be done. You have to have the belief that you can change. You have to realize that rejection isn't that bad. You can do it again, then your experience the time after is better. You don't get rejected as bad. Then the time after, a girl might give you her number. Time after that, a girl might have a lot of good reception to how you are and how you're behaving around them. Then the next time, she's flirty to you back. You know what I mean? And it keeps going, it keeps developing because you're developing that skill and you're aligning yourself with the person that you want to become. The thought in your mind was, first of all, I want to get good at talking to women. How am I going to do that? Okay, I'm telling myself I'm good at talking to women. I can do this shit. I built up the courage. I go and talk to her. I realize, okay, I got rejected. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Next time, what can I do better? Okay, I understand this is how women perceive this type of these type of words. I understand that women respond good to this, women respond good to that. I understand that I have to carry myself properly. I understand that all these changes need to be made internally, and you're not doing these changes for the external world. You're doing these changes because you want to be better, right? But you have to see that it all started in the mind. It all started from the belief that you could do it first, and once you believe you can, you back this up with action, and It's only after that realization, and once you back it up with action, that is when you become. But first of all, you have to align that self-image of who you are in your mind with a good self-image externally. If someone hates themselves, if they despise themselves in their mind, is their perception of themselves externally gonna be a good one? No, it is not. Right? This is what I mean. So many people try and change through plastic surgery, and they try and do all these other external things, but you're never going to have a good relationship within. You're never going to have a good relationship with yourself. You're never going to like yourself unless you have a good self-image. If you don't have a good self-image, your shit's going to be cooked. You're never going to be able to progress in many aspects of life because you don't have a good belief of yourself, right? But it all starts within. It all starts with knowing that you can. You can't start if you don't have the belief and the idea of who you want to become first, right? This is what shifts your self-image. And once the image of yourself has changed, life in the physical won't be far behind when it comes to the change, because your physical world must, and I mean it must, align with your mental world. It must align with how you are and who you are mentally. You're not going to be able to be a good speaker if in your mind you believe that you're not a good speaker, you're not a good communicator, right? If you believe that you can get better, then you will. Then you have that belief and it translates into the real world, into the physical. But it all starts from within first. That's what I mean by when people say that, oh, I don't look good, I don't look like this, I need to look better, blah, blah, blah. But they don't even have a good relationship with themselves. They don't have a good self-image. How do you expect yourself to have a good relationship with yourself? How do you expect to be happy about yourself if you don't have a good self-image, if you don't have a good perception of yourself? And that's why self-image is so important.